So today we're continuing more Dark Souls lore because I love Dark Souls and I don't know anything that's happening. All I know is that bitches die. Gwendolyn's hot, right? Is it Gwendolyn or Guinevere? Guinevere's hot as fuck. And praise the fucking sun. Join the dark side. No. Guinevere, there you go. I don't know why I said Gwendolyn. Who the fuck is Gwendolyn? Is that the femboy? Gwendolyn's a fem. Fuck. Oh wait, I didn't tell you guys what the video was. I'm so sorry. I'm really excited to watch it. That's why. Sorry. Today we're watching a video made by the wonderful Vadi, and we're watching Prepare to Cry Remastered: The Legend of Artorias, the Abysswalker. So I watched a little bit of his Prepare to Cry series, but I haven't watched his remastered one. I didn't know he did a remastered version of it until I got this recommended to me actually, and I was like, oh shit, we should watch this with chat. Now we're here. Thank you so much, Vadi, for letting us react to your video, and I will leave a link in the description to the video. All right, let's go ahead and play.
In Gwyn's Age of Fire, there were 4 knights who distinguished themselves above all others. First, there was Hawkeye Goth, who fought in the First War against the dragons. He exulted in the thrill of the hunt, plucking dragons out of the sky.
Yeah, fuck these dragons. Oh, damn.
Soon, the only dragons left were in his memories, which he revisited endlessly.
Damn.
Fighting on the ground was Ornstein, the dragon slayer. He wielded a long, lightning cross spear that could be stamped deep into a stone dragon's hide. Its curious design went on to remind many of an exiled god of war, though none of them dared to speak his name.
Yo,
and
this guy's lit.
There was Kiran, whose talents differed considerably from the previous 2. A stealthy assassin, she would—
Oh my god. Okay, I was gonna say, chat. After the Gwendolyn incident, I'm scared to call people hot in Dark Souls because I don't want to be accused of liking femboys. I was gonna say, she's pretty hot. I don't think I've seen her before. She's really cool. Alright, sorry. Let's continue this. I had to pause this to make that comment.
no match for dragons, and so she must have killed for Gwyn in the Age of Fire to follow. She dazzled her foes with streaks of gold in the night.
So cool.
And then stung with the vicious poison of her silver tracer.
She can
But in the
sting
age
me.
of man to come, none were as well equipped as the great knight Artorias. For nothing, not dragons, nor disunity, nor even his enemies, frightened Gwyn like the dark. The dark soul of man filled the Lord of Light with fear, for one day, Gwyn knew, the fire would fade, and humanity would inherit the world. His world. So while he still had time and power, Gwyn began to rig the world in his favor. Mankind had stood amongst those who set out to slay the ancient dragons, and, as if in thanks, Gwyn bestowed upon pygmies and men the Ringed City, an enormous, gilded city located at World's End. The walls were as tall as mountains, and above them soared Medea, an immortal archdragon that was raised by the gods. Below slumbered Gwyn's youngest daughter, the Princess Filianore, a woman of enormous faith and power, who Gwyn gave up to protect the pygmies.
Dude, whoa, Gwyn, how could you give up your daughter? She's beautiful! What? Sorry, I promise you, chat, I'm not only gonna pause when there's a beautiful woman. I just need to compliment the design, you know. I think one thing Miyazaki really gets right are the ladies in these games. I haven't met her yet. Which game does she come in, chat? It's okay to pause for beautiful women. Thank you, chat. Thank you. She's beautiful. I genuinely haven't seen her yet. I think she might be in Dark Souls 2. We haven't gonna play that one yet. Maybe. That's what I'm guessing. Isn't 3? I played 3. Wait, how did I just miss it? It's been like 2 years since I played 3. I think we need to revisit Dark Souls 3. Because Gwyn's a big jerk. Fuck that guy. I'll marry his daughter. Oh, DLC. Did we do the DLC? We did. Okay, let's continue. Let's continue and see.
The very end of the world. And at first glance, you might think these acts benevolent. You might think they were kind. But in the end, it was just a trick of the light. The walls were not for protection. The dragon had an eternal duty to battle the dark. And Gwyn's daughter, Filianore, would never see her father again.
No.
The purpose of the Ringed City was not to protect the holders of the original Dark Soul. It was to imprison them, like a ring of fire that encircles the darkness of humanity. And man was, in fact, branded with this very seal, the Dark Sign. And despite clear evidence of their heroism in the war against the dragons, their dark knights never were lauded for their service. So it's no wonder, then, that in all of the spellcraft and the hexes that stem from humanity, one thing remains constant. It craves a free will of its own, and it writhes against its shackles. Perhaps the first example of this was the Mad King. He was pygmy royalty, and he rebelled against the light. We have no idea what crimes he committed, but they must have been terrible, for he was put to death by Shira, a knight of Filianor. Only the Mad King would not die, and Shira, with the Mad King impossibly entwined around her spear, had no choice but to hold him quietly in a dark room until the end of time. There were, of course, other human cities outside.
What the fuck? That's so fucking cool. Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, that sounds like eternal torture, but it's kind of like impressive, isn't it? Be able to hold someone hostage until the end of time because you can't like really like kill them, like get rid of them. It's impressive. I think that's really cool. I'm not crazy though. I'm just, you know, I'm just complimenting the technique.
Ring City. One such example was the Dark City of New Londo, which was governed by 4 human kings and protected by Knights of the Dark Blade. The kings were renowned for their foresight, and they even had fragments of Gwyn's very own soul bestowed upon them, so that they could better govern their people. Of course, this too was another trick of the light, for what lies at the top of New Londo but Filing Shrine, a place of undead sacrifice to Gwyn's Age of Fire. So no human city was permitted to flourish without a clear benefit to the Age of Fire. And there was no better example of this than another human city called Oolacile, which was the golden land of light sorceries. Light, it turns out, can be manipulated to foster illusions. It can hide your intentions, it can even mess with the fabric of time. And spells of this nature would be of great value to the gods in the coming years, so Oolacile flourished, an exemplary city for Gwyn's pantheon, because it was proof that humanity could be taught to serve their interests. And so it was that a group of missionaries from Oolacile embarked upon the Ringed City, perhaps to preach and reinforce the power of the light in this dark city. One of these missionaries was called Half-Light, and he was a talented individual who was wielding the powerful artifacts of his homeland. He would go on to earn the favor of Filianor, and he would even earn the legendary...
No, it should have been me! It should have been me! It should have been me! Who the fuck is this guy? Yeah, it sounds pretty cool. I've never heard about him before until now. Get caught. I'm not getting caught, chat. It was never real. It was...
Dragon weapon of Medea. So it was no surprise that Half-Light elected to stay behind, becoming the last recorded spear of the church. And just as Half-Light visited the Ringed City and even stayed behind, the reverse was also true of a certain pygmy from the Ringed City. This pygmy's name was Manus. And while we know nothing about the nature of his visit to Oolacile, we do know one thing. He died there, and the body of primeval man, of Manus, was put to rest far, far beneath the city itself, out of the light and out of mind. We don't know much about Manus, and a lot is left to the imagination. What we do know is that he was a pygmy far from home. He was a part of a race that Gwyn was doing everything in his power to suppress.
That's kind of sad.
And when you think on Manus's fate, it's kind of hard to imagine that Gwyn didn't have a hand in it, especially since Gwyn had an order of assassins, the Lord's Blades, in his employ. The leader of the Lord's Blades was Kidan, the Hornet. It stated that she laid waste to Gwyn's enemies. And of course, there's no proof that the Lord's Blades actually killed Manus, but you could also argue that that's rather the point of assassins, isn't it? Whatever the case, the tide was turning. Mankind was struggling against the world order, and even New Londo, which was once a haven for undead, had turned into a hideous spawning ground for the Abyss and its dark wraiths. At the heart of this uprising was a serpent named Karth, who swayed the 4 kings and taught its undead knights how to pillage back their humanity. Some descriptions even say that...
Dude, you know what? That snake looks scary as fuck, but he was super comforting. Like, when I saw him after, and he's just a chill guy, you know? All I do is get in his mouth, and he brings me down to the bowl, and then I light that shit on fire with souls or something. You know, he looks a little scary, but yeah, he's a nice guy. I know him. I know him.
Wraiths became the most human of all, but to others...
The dark wraiths are the enemies of man, and any living thing that has a soul.
So as the age of man crept ever closer, yet another Knight of Gwyn appeared, perfectly equipped to face it, the great Knight Artorias.
It's him.
With a greatsword weighted to strike harder against servants of the dark, a great wolf who defined their fighting style, and a covenant with the beasts of the abyss, Knight Artorias and Sif defiantly faced the worst of mankind. Yet, in the end, the terror that was the Dark Wraiths could only be stifled with the sacrifice of their entire city. Such was the power of their 4 kings and the resilience of their abyss. Luckily for Gwyn, such a safety measure had been put in place years ago, and so the sealers of New Londo watched stoically as water rushed into the city and thousands of innocents died by their hand.
The entire city was sacrificed to contain them, for that is how great a threat they were.
But while Gwyn did manage to put the New Londo threat on hold, no one was prepared for the outbreak in Oolacile. I imagine when they figured out that a primeval human was buried beneath their very city, the temptation must have been too great to resist.
Believe it or not, Oolacile has brought the abyss upon itself, fooled by that toothy serpent.
Wait, so does this mean that the serpent was evil? I thought he was my friend. He seemed nice. I also want to comment about the flooding of that city. So that's why the city was underwater. I remember we had to like do a whole thing to like release the water from it. So wow, I didn't know there was like lore to that. I just thought the area was built like that. That's really cool. Oh, there are 2 serpents. So this is a different guy. Oh, okay. There's multiple serpents. Okay. Okay, thank you for clarifying that. Sorry, I got a little lost in the sauce. But yeah, that's really cool to learn about why the city was underwater now. There's a reason for it. It's just not... It wasn't just like that. I was wondering, I was like, how did they build this city with the water here? Alright, let's go continue.
Turned the grave of primeval man and incited his ornery wrath.
Wow.
What could they have been thinking?
Like the mad pygmy king before him, Manus rejected death, and he was as far from peace as could be. The raw emotion of humanity that we mentioned earlier billowed outwards, corrupting the townsfolk of Oolacile, and Manus became the father of an unstoppable dark abyss. Curiously though, it's almost as if he was searching for something, using his power to reach across time and space until he found it. Instead, he found Dusk, Princess of Oolacile.
I still think on that creature from the abyss that preyed upon me. My faculties were far from lucid, but I quite clearly sensed certain emotions. A wrenching nostalgia, a lost joy, an object of obsession, and a sincere hope to reclaim it. Could these thoughts belong to the beast from the abyss? But if that were true, then perhaps it is no beast after all.
The object of his obsession was a pendant, and with it in our possession, we're pulled back to a time where all appears lost.
Oh!
Well, look at this one.
Oh my gosh! Wait, this is where I'm at right now! Whoa! Wait, is there gonna be spoilers in the DLC? I didn't really account for that. Wow. Okay, I was gonna say, I recognize that Dusk girl. That's the motherfucker that broke on my first run. She didn't spawn in on my first Dark Souls run, so I had to do a second run just so I could play the DLC, which is what we're doing right now. But yeah, wow, okay. Wow. Okay, that makes sense. I didn't know she was connected to the lore in the game, but it does make sense. It would be. Alright, let's continue.
What faraway age hast thou come? Thy scent is very human indeed, but not intolerable. I am Elizabeth, guardian of this sanctuary. thou shalt see
She's
further
lit.
on. An abyss was begat of the ancient beast, and threatens to swallow the whole of Oolacile.
The city is lost, the abyss is spreading, and mankind has succumbed to the worst parts of their nature. When Gwyn heard of Manus and his abyss, Artorias must have been the first one sent to deal with the threat. He was, after all, the best equipped. But fighting dark wraiths is considerably different to the power of primeval man. So Artorias was bested and was forced to retreat. Beset by the abyss, the final act of Artorias was to protect his companion. He shielded Sif with the divine power of his great shield. After all, his arm was broken, and he could no longer bear the burden. Then, Artorias himself was overcome.
All of you, forgive me, for I have availed you nothing.
Knight Artorias came to stop this, but such a hero has nary a murmur of dark. Without doubt he will be swallowed by the abyss, overcome by its utter blackness. Indeed, the abyss may be unstoppable.
All was lost.
No.
And yet, strangely, soon after, the spread of the abyss was actually halted, and Princess Dusk of Oolacile miraculously wandered out of the abyss. Artorias' name henceforth passed into legend, the knight who gave his life to disperse the abyss to rescue the Princess of Oolacile. This is a lie, of course. In reality, it is we who rescued the princess, and we fulfilled the legacy of Artorias.
This may strike thine ear as somewhat peculiar, but long ago, in my homeland of Oolacile, I was beset by a creature from the abyss. I would have perished then, were it not for the great knight Artorias. In truth, I saw little of what transpired, for mine senses were already fled, but even still, there was something about Artorias, a certain balance of the humors that quite perfectly fits your semblance. Heavens, could it be that?
With this, Manus' suffering has ended. But Manus wasn't the only corruption of the abyss that we killed in Oolacile.
Wait, wow. Like, that's so sad. Why is this story so fucking sad? Didn't I just beat the shit out of this guy last time I played? Like, I didn't know he was a nice guy. I just killed him. Like, what? Well, to be fair, he started killing me first. Well, yeah. And don't I kill his dog too? That's so sad. That's dark. So what? I'm evil. Wait, why don't they tell me the sad story first before I go out and murder these motherfuckers? It's called Dark Souls, not Light Souls. I want Happy Souls. Where's Happy Souls at? Wait, that's so sad. I'm actually so sad. And he like put all his power to protect his dog, only for me to kill his dog like a few million years later. Like, what? That's so sad. And I killed his old partner in crime, Ornstein. Fuck Ornstein. I don't give no fuck about. I stand by that. That guy's so annoying to fight. I don't care. He deserves to die, but not his dog. His dog didn't do anything. Even when I fought his dog, I was like, damn, he's just a dog, man. A scary dog, but Happy Souls is a different lore video. Oh, is it? I was wondering where that term came from. I don't think I've seen that one yet. That one's so sad. Damn, I'm sorry, Artorias. I killed you and your dog. I didn't know y'all were lit.
There was also Artorias. The legend of Artorias is a lie. He did not vanquish the father of the abyss. He did not eliminate the dark wraiths of New Londo. The abyss is unstoppable. And yet, eons later, the legend of Artorias would inspire a legion of abyss watchers who continue to rage against the dying of the light. Yes, the abyss is unstoppable, but they fight nonetheless. Even in this state, notice that Artorias continues to seek out and kill corruptions of humanity. He's still in there somewhere, but his legend can only live on with his death. Only his fellow knights knew the truth, that they would take his soul and his secret to the grave. And while Artorias' soul was corrupted by the worst of humanity, it was the best of humanity that redeemed it. And the hero of Oolacile would disappear without a trace, almost as if he didn't belong, for in reality, he didn't. And eons later, deep within an enchanted wood, behind 2 locked doors and a troop of forest protectors, an ancient cat speaks the truth.
The legend of Artorias art none but a fabrication, traversing the dark. 'Tis but a fairy tale.
Alvina is keen to downplay the legend of Artorias because heroes and bandits have begun seeking out his grave. They would desecrate his legacy for the secret of abyss walking, and they may do harm to Sif, who, in fact, Alvina helped you rescue back when the world was still young.
No.
Imagine what Sif is feeling when you...
No. No. Oh my god. I might cry. Oh my god. I don't know why. I'm actually feeling really sad about this. Wow. I don't know. Wow. Is it the music? Is it because I'm bleeding? I don't know. I'm feeling emotional. I'm a monster. I am a monster. I didn't know. I didn't know. I'm sorry. I killed the dog. I was part of the mission. I thought this wasn't required. I'm not the monster. Miyazaki is. The dog. No. No, the dog was watching his grave. What? I'm so sad. Are we both monsters? I'm so sad. I'm really sad. Wow, I don't even know if I want to play Dark Souls today anymore. I'm so sad. What the fuck? I'm gonna play. It's just what?
Paths again years later. You're duty-bound to seek the abyss, and Sif is duty-bound to stop you.
No.
One of you will have to die, because Sif cannot give you the Covenant of Artorias willingly. Maybe, in death, he can find his friend Artorias again.
No. Bonnie, that's so cope. Maybe in death you'll find his friend again. Like, man! No, we're monsters. Ah! Dog! Dog don't deserve this. I'm crying. I'm so sad. No! The dog! Why not the dog? I'm a furry. Fuck. Man. This is
Before
so
I
sad.
go, I just want to say a couple more things. Firstly, this video
just
was
traumatized
made far better by the contributions of a guy called the Parry God, who recorded footage for me this time. It allowed me to sort of focus more on the script and the edit. He's responsible for those fantastic slow motion shots, which I didn't know how to do, but they fit really, really well with the pacing of the video. So do me a favor and please go watch his cinematic short film on Dark Souls 3, because it's inspiring stuff. He's just getting his channel started, and his upcoming work is really well worth your subscription, in my opinion. And this is an appropriate video to shout out somebody else's channel in, because all those years ago, this video, Prepare to Cry, Artorias, this was the story I decided to tell for the first time, and this is the video that got my channel started, so being able to work on this again after everything I've learned was really special for me, and I really appreciate that you watched it all the way through. I hope you enjoyed it. And
I'm sorry to pause right at the end, but this guy just traumatized me. I'm so sad. I'm actually really sad about it. Like, I didn't realize there's so much lore to the dog, bro. I thought we were just fighting it, bro. The dog. Oh my god. Prepare to cry. I wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared. Oh, that's so sad. The dog. The dog. Why couldn't the dog be evil? Oh man. Alright, let's continue. I don't know why I'm crying. I think it's the blood moon. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's the blood moon, but I just think it's so sad. The dog. Like, the dog, man. The dog. The dog. Don't make fun of me. It's the dog. She cried for the dog, but not the child, because the dog is innocent. The child did hate crimes to me, and that's why I didn't cry for the kid. But the dog was just a good dog, literally. Damn, bro. I have depression.
I'll see you next time.
my god. I actually paused when there was 1 second left. Wow, that was horrible. Damn. What? Why am I crying? I don't know why. I don't know why. Alright, well, this is my first Prepare to Cry remaster I watched, so thank you. Thank you, Bonnie, for making that video, even though you ruined my day. I'm kidding. That was a really good video. That video, I was very engrossed in the video. A little too invested in the video. I'm really sad now. I want to say this was fun to watch, but this was pretty heartbreaking to watch. I don't know. I kind of I don't know. This is like the first story that I like read or like learned about in Dark Souls that really got me. I don't know. There's something that felt so I don't know, so touching, so human about the story of Artorias and his dog. The dog is just doing its job, as are you. I know, but like I could have just uninstalled the game. I didn't need to kill the dog, to be honest. That's what I thought. I was so sad. A lot of the boss's backstory gives people depression. I think we should just stop playing Souls forever. What? Sip is a girl? Oh shit. Good dog. I don't know. I can't tell. Dog. He does good lore videos. Yeah, he does. That's why I like to watch a lot of Vadi's lore videos. He does a really good job getting me invested and excited to learn. So, Mochi, Slayer of Dogs. No! Yeah. Okay, well, I guess this is my... I don't know why I cried. I'm fucking crazy. Wow, this is my first time crying to like a video. Minus the Sumiko movie, but that doesn't count. We don't talk about that one. Okay, I'm sad now. Thank you for watching this video. I'm gonna fucking end my